Well, folks, we're still here in the kitchen at Camp Jackson. Um, Today, we're going to make a good old southern pecan pie. So, if this looks like something you might like, be sure and stick around, and I'll show you all the ingredients, and we'll see how it's done. Cue the intro. Alright, well, you're still here, so you must want to see this. Alright, ingredient list. And this just makes a really nice, good old southern pecan pie, a big, deep dish. Um, we already made the pie crust for this, so if you haven't seen that yet, if I can figure out how to do it, I'll put a little link to it somewhere on the screen or at the end of this video. Be sure and watch that one and be able to make your own pie crust and then make this pecan pie. Alright, our ingredients that we will need for this, we have 1 1/4 cups of dark corn syrup, Karo corn syrup. We have 4 whole eggs. We have 1/2 cup of brown sugar, light brown sugar. We have 1/2 stick or 1/4 cup of melted butter. And this is not margarine or, I can't believe it's not butter. This is actual unsalted stick butter. 2 teaspoons of all-purpose flour. And then we're going to need 1 1/2 teaspoons of vanilla. And about 1.5 cups of pecans. I have quite a bit more here, but that's because I like to pick through them and find the nice large whole ones to put on top. And then of course for us, we have our optional ingredients here, because I will decorate the top of this pie with a little bit of lattice work, some leaves, some cutouts. So for that, some flour for my work surface, an egg wash to help the edges brown and to help the lattice and everything stick together real good. Tools, a mixer. You can do it by hand. I just prefer not to. A couple of my leaf cutouts, which are the optional ones here. Pastry brush for the egg wash. And of course my little scraper. A good spatula for getting the edges down on this. And we already have the oven preheated to 350 degrees. And once we have this in the crust, we're going to bake it for 45 minutes at 350. So let's start getting this mixed up, and we already have our pie crust out as well. It's ready to go. We'll slide it over here in just a moment. All right, corn syrup, 1 1/4 cups. Very sticky stuff. Makes for a really good pie though. Okay. Brown sugar, 1/2 cup. And we're going to start to mix this a little bit as we put it together, but the main part of it we're just going to do all at once. 1/2 stick of butter, or 1/4 cup. Okay. And the eggs, 4 whole eggs in there. Now we want to give this a good mix, and then we will add our flour and vanilla last. And here's where I'll use the mixer for this. That was easy enough. And sure, you could have a big stand mixer. Part of this though, the point of some of this is if you're going to be out on the road like we intend to be, on the overland adventures, out traveling the countryside, some of these recipes are ones that I want to be able to make at a campsite in a rustic setting. And I can mix this by hand just fine. A little camp oven, I can bake this pie. There's no part of this that I can't do, but I'm not going to haul around a big stand mixer and all the extra kitchen gadgets. Very few things, because we want to keep the weight on the truck down for gas mileage. Alright, flour, 2 teaspoons. Vanilla, 1 1/2 teaspoons. There's 1, and about 1/2. Close enough for government work. Another good mix. That's it for the filling. That's all you got to do. Top it with the pecans and you'll be done. Make sure and give this bowl a good scrape, get them sides. Make sure we got it all incorporated pretty good. All right, let's get our pie crust here. Remember, this is one that we made earlier. It is one from scratch. We want to take our fork, and this has been chilling in the refrigerator, and we just want to stab the bottom of it. Pie crust, they'll tend to bubble up on you if you don't give it a place for the to escape here, the steam or anything. We're just going to go all the way around this thing real good. That should work. Pie filling. And this big old deep dish plate that I have here may not look like it's going to be enough, but this thing will puff up and fill this pie plate completely up. Done with that one. Now we're just going to top it with the pecans, and then I'm going to do my little decorations on top. So this is going to take me a minute. You can put them on in whatever pattern you want. I will start along the edges and just do a circular one all the way around. You can make a design out of it if you want to. You can do the shape of a flag. You could do the shape of a duck, I guess, if you felt like it. I'm not that talented, so I just start at one edge and work my way all the way around. You could just randomly sprinkle them on top. Again, I suppose whatever works for you. Alright, well, we got all the pecans on there, and cooking really is a labor of love because sometimes that's a little tedious process. But now I want to get my little decorations up on top of it. And I'm going to get this slid to the side. I would hold it up and let you see it, but I'm not going to tip that pie plate over. Alright, get a little flour down here. Like I said, this is entirely optional. If you wanted to stop there and just bake that pecan pie, you could. It's no big deal. But I always say try and take it to the next level there and work on your presentation. You can do that, you'll be doing really good. Remember the pie crust that we made? Well, we need some of that for this. To make all our little shapes and cutouts that we need. That might be enough. Get that floured up good. We don't want it sticking. And just like on the crust, we want to roll this out till it's almost transparent, which will be less than 1/8 of an inch thick. But we don't have to roll it nearly as big, so we don't need as much here. I suppose there's lots of ways to do this. Watch a bunch of other videos, see how they do it. You pick one that works for you. There we go. Now I need 4 strips to go on the pie, so I'm going to cut me 4 out of this right here. That'll be long enough. And I think I can get them out of this side. Take my pizza cutter. There. Now we have 4 little strips there. We'll leave them right where they're at. Cutouts. I've got a couple of little leaf shaped cookie cutters here, and I just want to make me a few of those. Maybe some 4 large ones there, and we'll do some little ones as well. Just wherever I can fit them in. I always make extra because sometimes I'll ruin a few of them. There we go. Now on a leaf cutout like that, in order to make the shapes on it, to make it look like a leaf, you could stop there myself, and hopefully this other camera is zoomed in far enough where you can see this. I'm going to use a butter knife, and I'm going to use the back edge of it here. And simply go along and make a little indentation in it from the top, and a couple of little veins in there. Whatever shape and size you want. Just make those little veins, and once this cooks, you will see those. They'll stand out. Close enough. Peel some of this off of there. There we go. Alright, for our pie. Now we're going to use an egg wash around the edges and to help hold this stuff together. And the egg wash here is just simply 1 egg and a tablespoon of cold water. And all we want to do is use a little pastry brush and just gently brush those edges. This will also help it to brown up real nicely. Give it that nice, beautiful golden brown color we're looking for. There we go. Alright, for these shapes here, we'll even up the ends. And see if we can get those on there. Now I'm going to do just like so. And part where I brush that egg wash on there, that part will help these stick to the sides. I just want to cut that off. All right, there's one. And let's do one the other direction. Yeah, maybe up there. That works. I said, don't worry about perfection, folks. You just make it the way you like it. We'll do another one in here. If I can. Kind of tearing it up a little bit. Okay. Then we got one more. Let's go with this one. Okay. There we go. And we got our 4 little lattice pieces on there. And let's see if we can lay some of these leaves on it. Now we'll just pick them up with a knife. And you just lay them on there anywhere you want to. Any direction. Big ones, little ones, mix them up. Doesn't matter. You can overlap them. Make a little pile of them if you want. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Uh-oh. There, that looks good. And a little egg wash on the top of that stuff, very gently. You don't want to push this stuff down into it, down into your filling. So be very gentle. But we do want it to get that nice golden brown color. All right, we got it. It's ready to go. Off into the oven, 350 degrees, 45 minutes, and we'll come back and show you the finished product. And in the meantime, while you're waiting for this 45 minutes to go by, that's plenty of time for you to go hit the like button, subscribe, leave me a comment. Remember, hit that like button 3 or 4 times just because you can. I'll be back in a few. All right, the pie's had time to cool. And remember, we had it in the oven for 45 minutes. And you can see on the close-up pictures of it there how it turned out with my little decorations on top that I like to do. But me and my wife, we had an awesome dinner. And now it is time for dessert. So let's cut into this pie and see how everything turned out. So give this one a try and let me know what you think.